Hey everybody, it's Zach here, and I thought I'll do a little live video this evening, kind of show you guys what's been going on. Sam and I have been a little absent lately, I guess, but we've been busy. Last weekend we had our gender reveal and found out that our little baby is a little girl, so that's always fun. And life's just been busy. Doing everything that needs to get done. So I thought if I do a video, you guys can join me on it live and we can enjoy it together. First of all, I hope everyone enjoyed or tried to enjoy this Memorial weekend. Sam and I got out and did some fishing today and yesterday, and she worked this weekend, so of course I got to work on the four-wheeler and everything else, but yeah, whoa, little goofy here. So this thing is focusing hardcore. Hopefully you guys can, there it is. Went dark to light too quick. So a lot of people were asking how we like, David says, caught 7 walleyes, 11-inch perch, and 20-inch northerns this weekend. That's awesome. Good job. I wish we had, I wish we caught some bigger fish, but most of the fish we caught were just little tiny ones. I'm actually going to close this garage door in a minute here, so I'm going to lock my truck. There we go. So, tight quarters here. I'm going to close this because I'm having problems with the light to dark, so we do have names picked out, but we're not telling anybody because that's our own secret. And I'm gonna wipe this lens here 1 second. Oh, where are you guys? Oh, let's see if that helps. Anyways, so hopefully it doesn't get as blurry. How's it going, Neil? So I'm airing out the SUV because we went fishing yesterday and I left the worms in my tackle box and they're kind of stinky today. So yeah, regardless, got that kind of cleaned out a little bit and letting it air out for just a moment. I sprayed some Lysol in there. It was pretty bad. But this past week we actually got new tires put on this SUV here. I call it an SUV. I know it's a crossover, but to me the crossovers are kind of the new SUVs. And yeah, I don't know why you guys are like fading in and out real weird. So we got new tires put on it. This we went in because it had a shimmy at highway speeds. And you guys probably seen those other tires. They weren't the greatest. They're Yokohamas, but they weren't, anything special. And we brought it in there. To get them balanced was about $40, and the guy was looking at them because I had planned on getting new ones put on before this winter. Maybe I shouldn't have told him that. Maybe he sold me on it. But regardless, they were really weather cracked on the edge here, like to the point of separating a little bit, kind of flaking off, if you will. And they were kind of old tires. So rather than paying $40 and then later on paying, another remounting fee, right? I saved in a way $40 and we got new tires. These were like $550, and then they had a 10% off sale on top of it, so we got like $50 coming back. But they're Arizonian Silver Edition 3, and they're kind of a specialty for discount tire made through Cooper. And reviews on them are meh, because you got people that are really, I only buy name brand tires. They're the safest way to go, yada, yada, yada. But rather than spending, there wasn't a whole lot of options. I mean, holy moly, there we are. So there's a ton of options, right? But they get expensive real quick. And the guy was trying to get me to buy some hand-cooked Dynapros, which I know are great tires, but kind of overkill for this thing. We're not going to go mudding with it or whatever. I wanted something that's reasonably aggressive, but not going to be loud and still, can handle okay. So these ones had pretty decent for the price ratings. The only rating that they were a little bit less on was snow. But being that the old tires were kind of crappy and they did awesome in the snow with the all-wheel drive, I'm sure these ones will be like really good. So, oh yeah, I'll show you a little bit of the tread pattern here. You can kind of see it. It's pretty decent. And I think they're a 55,000 warranty. And I also got the road hazard, which includes sidewall punctures, and that's kind of important because when I actually had that happen on the Focus, and that sucked. Got a flat tire right on the side, and there's no like fixing it, so you have to get a brand new tire. So at least this way it's covered. Everything is covered except for, I think they said vandalism or theft, right? Because, yeah. But we took them out. They feel really nice. They handle really good. Like I said, we went fishing. We were back on dirt roads, and it performed just as well as I would hope it to. So I'm really happy about it. So yeah, we got her some new tires. The battery that I just almost tripped over, this was the original battery, so it was about 6 years old in the truck, and I switched it out, and the truck's doing perfectly normal now. It's doing great. So yeah, it must have had a dead cell that would, hold a charge for a little bit, but then it would just die kind of random, and that's exactly the symptoms of a dead cell. And so it's running great now. Sam and I both got new bikes this year, and we've been cruising around on these. These are cruiser bikes. They have coaster brakes, which is the brakes that are in the rear hub, and you're not going to get anywhere fast, but you're going to get there relaxed. So I absolutely love these bikes, and score. The four-wheeler project has ended. I actually brought it back on yesterday, late last night. So that project's done, and my next project is getting a bigger fuel line for this weed whipper so I can get it back to my buddy. It was actually kind of a housewarming gift for him, and he moved into his house last year. So I kind of got to get him his weed whip. But that's an old Craftsman. I think it's from '98. So it's a Sears Craftsman, but it runs like awesome. So I'm sure he'll be glad. This thing is focusing hardcore. I do apologize. It's pretty bright in here though, so I don't know what's going on. When I worked on the tiller, my dad traded me labor for this, or he just gave me this, I guess, whatever you want to say. And I had to get it running, but this is important because shoveling really kills my back, and I'm excited that this next snowfall season, this thing will be running, and it'll save me a little bit on my back. And I plan on, we got a fence, as you guys know, on this side of the garage all the way out. I'm putting one on this side all the way out as well this summer, and that way when I snow blow, I can blow it against the fence and not like my neighbor's cars, because I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate that very much. And behind this, I got a spare rim that should fit the trailer. Tire's junk, but I have to find a used tire and get it mounted on there. And that's just going to be the spare. Everybody was talking, oh, you need a spare. It kind of got me all worried, so I asked around and ended up getting this one for free. It should be 5-on-5, just like the trailer. Trailer is an oddball size bolt pattern, so 5-on-5 is what it is. And I think this one should work. It's pretty close when I measure it with a tape measure, and I don't know if that's just me measuring. So the only way to know, though, is to buzz the old one off and see if this one fits. So we'll get around to that eventually. For the gender reveal, we needed a new cooler because our old coolers are this size. I think they're about 28 quarts. And whenever we went camping or anything else, we'd always bring 2 coolers, and it still would never be enough. And they don't have a drain hole, so everything would get soaked in water. And what we ended up doing is we just thought, well, we need a big one for the party. Let's get one. And so this is a 110 quart. I like it. It has wheels on it, and it has a little drain dealio. And up until the pop in here is still cold, but up until yesterday, it still had ice in it. There actually might be a couple little ice cubes hanging around in there, but we had 60 pounds of ice in here for the party, and it lasted over a day over a week, so 8 days. And it works awesome. So that there was like $110 at Fleet Farm. But I've watched a lot of reviews, and actually, like you were saying, David, the Coleman, I watched this one where he had a Yeti and all sorts of different brands, and the one that held ice the longest was like your $15 Coleman Walmart one that most people have. So, yeah, we went for this one. There's not actually that many brands with like a large enough size like this, and wheels. Wheels are important because when you pack this thing full of ice and all your food, it gets really, really heavy. All right, behind that, you'll notice I have 2 lawnmowers. This lawnmower was for free on the side of the road yesterday, and I couldn't help but take it because I put some gas in it, and the top cover, I pulled the top cover off just to see what was going on. But this is what it is. Yard machine, 4-horse, 22-inch cut. Pretty simple, big wheels on the back, and it runs, but it kind of fights around for idle, you know, so I had to take the car apart and blow it out, and then I'm going to put it online for like $20 and see if I can get some college kid or something to give me $20 for it. It was free. If all else fails, I'll bring it to the scrap yard, but I'm going to try to get $20 for this mower. I figure I should be able to figure it out. It runs, it just doesn't run smooth. So the chainsaw in the back, that still runs. I fired that thing up. I did get rid of the plastic case a couple weeks ago because it's a small chainsaw and the plastic case is really bulky. So for how little I use it, I thought, well, you know what, we'll just go without a case because it's not like it's pristine or anything anyways. Oh yeah, and this is one thing I'm trying as well. I've been fighting for how to organize these cords, and I always throw them up on this 2x4, and it's always hard because each one of these cords kind of has their own thing, right? So this one is pretty long. This one's thick, so you can get good power through it, and this one has 3 ends. So each one's kind of different, and to fight with them on the post is hard. So I went on Amazon and spent $20 and got 6 of these Rapids heavy duty Velcro, and I like them because they have a grommet, so you can hang them on a nail or a screw or whatever. And so far I really like them. They've come in handy, and I have no complaints about them. So you could wash them if they got muddy, anything. I'm really happy with them. They even work for they have different sizes. These ones are large. They're kind of too big for this. I can get them a little tighter. And but bigger is better in this case because I might use them for a hose or something. So I'd say large is a good general size. But I really like them. I'm giving them an honest try. And my biggest worry is over time I just won't put them back in their Rapid, and they'll just be laying around. But time will tell, I suppose. Oh yeah, and my buddy's town had a throw your junk out day, and I was dropping off my trailer full of dirt and seen this chair, so I may or may not keep it, but it's been sitting out here for a couple weeks. But yeah, actually I got 3/4 of a yard of topsoil or black dirt, and it comes a yard of black dirt's about 2,000 pounds, so it was 1,500 pounds worth of dirt. And then I dropped off at my buddy's house, and it rained for like a good part of a week. And I picked it up, and it was heavy, heavy dirt. So, yeah, it's probably the most load I've ever had in that trailer, and it handled it so good. I'm like very happy with it. What else? Yeah, so right now I'm getting everything kind of cleaned up in the last couple weeks in the garage, going through, throwing stuff out, and working on the organization part because I really want to get my truck in here. But unfortunately, the more I get rid of, the more I acquire, so we'll see. I got to figure out where to put that snow blower as far as like a winter storage. Geez. But this thing has like a stabilization mode in it, and it's like very shaky. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on doing the four-wheeler video. The house is still in shambles from the carpet. It's kind of hard. We're rearranging the rooms for the baby, and my office was supposed to be downstairs, but I actually want it upstairs, which means we won't really have a guest bedroom, so we have to think about it and move stuff around a little bit. My office is not even really an office right now, but we'll get back to that point. But yeah, once the four-wheeler video is up, I'm going to be working on my fishing videos by using my GoPro on my chest mount, and going to go out fishing. I found a really cool river spot that I want to go back to, and I just want to do some fishing videos this summer because I think everybody would really enjoy those. And that'll be, of course, be on the other channel, but that's kind of what's going on right now with life. Just busy. You know, between these projects and work and home projects, there's always something, right? Once you own a house, you realize there's always something that's wrong. Between all that, I do get breaks, and I'll go fishing or something to take it easy, but I'm just trying to wind all these projects down. There's all supposed to be winter projects, and here I am. It's almost summer, if not summer. I don't actually know, but I noticed that this chain is loose, so I'm going to have to tighten that up too. See? Never-ending projects. Yeah. So that's really what's been going on out here in the garage. Oh yeah, I did flip this camera around. I did take pictures of my truck because my truck actually has rust bubbles above the fender well on the driver's side, and then both running boards are rusty, and there's a little bit of corrosion on my wheels. I actually went through this whole claim process that because I got Auto Armor Rust package, which warranties my paint for 7 years. So I had to take pictures of it, and I had to submit it all to the warranty center place, and I did that a few days ago. I should find out within the next few days what they want to do, but it came out to almost $10,000 we're fixing because this place that I went to warranties it for life. So what they'll do is they'll cut off my whole entire, to take off my doors, they cut the whole entire frame, like the pillars and everything off. That includes the rockers. And then they'll reattach, whether it has to be welded, they'll reattach on both sides, all of that. And then for my bed, they're going to do both sides, and same thing, they got to cut off both sides of my box, inside and out, and put it all back on there. And it's really not, to me, it's really not that serious. I thought they would just like, sand it up a foot or two, blend it with the paint, and clear coat it. But this place here, they seem to be taking it pretty seriously. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I paid like $1,200 for this paint package thing, and the deductible is only $100. So if they give me the green light for it, that's gonna be crazy. But with that being said, whether or not that goes through, I have no idea. But I am looking at downsizing because really don't have anything or any projects that require me to have a full-size pickup truck. We're not talking campers right now. We're not talking about anything like that. And I like my truck. I wish I could get a Ford truck though. That's a whole different discussion. But regardless, when we got this thing, it'll tow 2,500 pounds. All it needs is a hitch, the 4-pin wiring, and a tranny cooler. Well, the tranny cooler is $60. The hitch and wiring comes out to 100 and wiring was like 40 or 50 bucks. But all you do is you pop out your lights. I had the same thing on my Focus. You pop out these lights, and a little T connector goes in there, and it gets the signal from that. So it's all really good quality stuff that you're not cutting wires apart and guessing, right? It's just plug and play, which I really like. But all that together was under $200. It was like 180 or 190 bucks. And yeah, installing it I can do myself, which is simple. But at that point then, I'm looking to downsize the truck either to a SUV thing like what we have here, or a full-size car. And the car works just fine because it just has to be a full-size one because of the fact that it has to get a baby seat in there, right? A car seat. And that works great because we can Sam and I can switch vehicles, whether I'm going duck hunting or deer hunting or fishing or whatever, right? If I need to pull a trailer, I have this vehicle here. And like I said, right now, we really don't have a need for a half ton. We really got that thing with the ambition that we're gonna have like a big beefy camper and all the rest of the accessories, but campers are expensive. And when you break it down, it's like, yeah, we'll just get a hotel room. It'll be cheaper, or we can just go camping. And I camped out of the Focus, so there's no reason why we can't camp out of a SUV. In fact, when we camped out of the Focus, we brought just as much stuff, but when we camp out of the truck, we bring everything. And that's something you want to keep in mind. If you can't bring as much, it's really simple, but as soon as you're able to bring the whole lot, you bring the whole lot, which means more of a process of loading and unloading, and you end up using none of it. And so I'm looking to simplify, right? So for bringing leaves to the compost site, this SUV will work awesome. And another point of having maybe a car, because we actually don't even need two like SUVs, if we have a car, I really benefit because my price point is 10 grand or less. And if I can hit that price point, the payment of a car and this SUV here will be the same as what that truck is right now, right? Combined. And then on top of it, I'll be saving a ton of money on gas and insurance, I'm sure, wear and tear. I mean, trucks are very expensive to own, and if you can barely make a truck payment, it's your dream to have a truck, but you can barely make that payment, don't go for it, because the maintenance costs will destroy you. Just to do like a simple tune-up, I did around Christmas time, was like $500, and I did all the labor myself. It's ridiculous. And then you start talking front end parts and all these heavy duty parts, it's just simple. So that's the goal. Downsize as much as we can if we can. I need that rust stuff to go through to know where I'm at. Maybe they'll cut me a deal. They'll say, that's way too much, but we'll write you a check or something ridiculous. I have no idea how they're going to handle it, but we'll find out. Yeah, so if you think about it this way, that truck, I put about 20,000 miles on it a year through driving with YouTube and my work I do anyways. And I get on the highway, I might get 17 miles per gallon. This car, we were out today driving 29 and a half or 29. And if you just think of that, right? Imagine if I got, I think a full-size car would get like right around that 30 mark too. So I'm getting probably almost double the gas mileage. And over the course of 20,000 miles a year, I'm only going to be spending half as much on gas. And I did the math. I spend over $5,000 a year on gas. So how would you like it if you went to work tomorrow and they said, you know what? We're going to give you a $1.25 raise. You'd be stoked. And that's exactly what getting rid of that truck would be. $2,500 a year savings. On top of that, insurance and what else? Tabs, all that stuff would be way cheaper. So that's what's in the works, but we'll see. Only time will tell. I might be way upside down on that. There's no way to know. They'll be asking 20 grand for a truck the same as mine at the dealership. Then when you look it up on Kelley Blue Book, it says my truck is only worth $10,000. But sometimes I don't think that Kelley Blue Book is as accurate as people seem as far as the dealership goes, because there is a extremely high premium where I am for pickup trucks. I have no idea why, but to get a truck for under 10 grand, it's either going to be 15 years old or it's going to have 200,000 miles on it. That's the going rate around here, is expensive. So we'll see. I might not end up getting rid of it. I might keep it. It all depends on what's the deal of the day. But definitely looking at Toyota Camrys as a full size. I'm curious about a Corolla. We did get our baby seat for the car from our my in-laws, and so I want to actually go to the dealership and try to put it in there just to see how much space, because you can read about it, but until you put the seat in there, really, you don't know. So really looking at full size, and Toyota, Honda, because they are really reliable. And I was thinking of going diesel with like a Volkswagen Jetta, I believe is what their full size one is, or whatever. But I'm kind of leery about it because I hear they're very particular with their oil, and the camshafts go flat, and they say, oh yeah, well the amount of fuel you'll save, you can pay for that, and that's true, but you're not really saving anything if you're spending it on maintenance costs. So, alright, I'm just blabbering on. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'm gonna head back in. I'm hungry, but I appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, leave a comment down below if you have any an option on a car, maybe something. But I'm looking for a full size. Keep that in mind. Full size. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.